Welcome everybody once again to the Black Desert Mobile Ramoness Championship. We are here bringing you the Europe region for the final region of this championship. I'm Valdez, joined by Sherna and Trent once again. And we have another great 3 best of 5s, 1 best of 7 to decide who is going to take it all here in Europe.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy games over in the other regions. Americas and Asia both put some very close games, some kind of blowout series at the same time. So definitely worth checking those out. But the European one definitely serves to be one of the best out of all of them.
It'll be very exciting to see, just because in the Americas and the way that people play in Asia, their playstyles on Keeper of the Relics is vastly different from one another. So it's going to be interesting to see what EU does in both maps. We had some, like Sherna said, some close games in the Americas and in Asia. 2-point difference in America, 3-point difference in Asia. Don't know what we're going to see in Europe.
1 point difference, maybe?
Possibly. If that happens, I'm going to be popping off.
We're all going to be popping off. And speaking of which, you can pop off with some events. We do have the coupon event, the BRC viewership event, and of course the audience participation photo event. You can go to the official website for more details, especially on how to participate in the last couple of events I mentioned.
Yes, at world.blackdesertm.com.
So there you go. Go to that website. He's got it very well memorized, and you should too by this time, because that's where you look up all those events and how to participate. The coupon one is pretty easy. You just wait until the end and you put in the coupon. So we're also going to take a look at the prizes that these players can receive by placing in this top 4. The fact that you've made it to the top 4, of course, means everybody gets the Black Cave Puppy Tier 6. But other than that, you can win some really nice rewards.
Yeah, first place taking away 50,000 pearls, the Ramoness champion title, the golden crown for the Ramoness, and also the trophy, which is the legend tier by 1. So decent rewards there, but you know, they get the best. But next down, second place gets 25,000 pearls, the Ramoness finalist title, the silver crown, and the Emperor trophy, as well as the Black Cave Puppy.
Absolutely, with first and second getting those kind of prizes, you got to wonder what third and fourth are going to get. Not too shabby at all. Obviously, semifinals are going to be great for everyone. Just the fact that you've made it here means you're going to get some sweet rewards out of it. As Valdez has mentioned before, the puppy is obviously the best of the prizes here.
Yeah, hands down. Nothing even compares. You can take those 50,000 pearls. I'll take the puppy.
Well, good news. If you made it to the top 4, you will get the puppy. Everybody gets one. So I feel like the most important jump is from semis to finals. If you make finals, you're guaranteed at least 25,000 pearls. That's actually really huge. Compared to, potentially even if you get 4 or 5,000. So it could be a jump of 20K. There are also MVP and Dominator Awards. The MVP award is just who we vote on from each region. We already have a couple of MVPs from the first couple of regions. Dominators is based on how many points you have won over the course of your region, and whoever does get the most overall. I believe it's done on an average basis, but we'll get into that a little bit later, as we do have our maps here for the tournament.
Yeah, Temple Raiders and Keeper of the Relics. Temple Raiders, a little bit more claustrophobic. Keeper of the Relics, absolutely huge, wide, and has the ballista for an absolute ton of points.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, the regions do have different playstyles for Keeper of the Relics, whether or not you want to take the ballista down in the first 30 seconds or in the last 5.
We haven't seen anyone take it in the first 30 seconds.
Accidentally, someone has.
That's the dream that we want. But
we did last year.
Yeah. But basically, when you want to make your plays and stuff, it'll be very interesting to see. And now, as we go over the rules.
Yeah, we have the rules here for the tournament. The semifinals and the third place match are best of 5. As you can see here, we are going to be alternating our maps. So game 1 is Temple Raiders, game 2 is Keeper of the Relics, so on and so forth, until you potentially make it to the 5th game of your best of 5. It will be random. We're not 100% sure what you'll get, because it is, of course, random. Each team is allowed 1 timeout, and if you do use your timeout, you can use it to discuss whatever you want. And also, most importantly, at times, you can switch your class, which is potentially nice if you want to do that.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times this tournament, but the finals, don't forget, will be a best of 7. Same 1-2 format with Temple Raiders and Keeper of the Relics, just that the 7th set will be random instead of the 5th set.
Absolutely, and you know, in the Americas as well as Asia, in Asia we saw it just be on a sweep essentially, and then in NA we saw it kind of go a little bit more the distance. Excited to see what Europe's going to bring to the table on this, but map control has been very important in all the regions. People who are good at Keeper of the Relics have stayed good. And for today's matchup, we have Aeon versus PP Boys, and then Fight Club versus Brocalypse.
Brocalypse?
Yeah, we're going Brocalypse.
Apocalypse? Yeah. Something like that.
Brocalypse, yes. So the winner out of each round will go on to the finals, and obviously those who didn't win will go to battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Just on paper, we are going to take a look at these teams, of course. Ramoness, Hoarder, and Mugwe, Raven, Archmage, and Grandmaster. Pretty interesting composition here, 3 different classes. Hoarder is the jack of all trades, shot caller, hype man, the extrovert friend that welcomes his introverted buddies. Mugwe grabs people and drags them through the ground, forgets to communicate. Orb Destroyer and Lagos Stealer. Ramoness is their ace. He is a key player. You can see him at the top playing Raven. He is a bouncy, slippery boy. I dare you to say that without laughing. If you see him, just run. Chill and silent person. So I suppose he's one of the introverted buddies that was welcomed by the extrovert friend.
Yeah, an interesting composition by them, but here we have the PP Boys. Everyone out there should know who they are. They are previous champions of the Ramoness. We have Tagliaferri, we have Chamrai, and we have Temps. And as you can see, all of them are champions, and Tagliaferri is the MVP from the last tournament.
Absolutely, with the composition of Grandmaster, Archmage, Archmage. Obviously this may change. They are indeed men who like to play Ramoness for fun. Yes.
They're PP boys, but they're also men.
Absolutely.
So.
You can't have one without the other. And so,
True.
Again, they have quite a story behind them as well, being previous champions, probably looking to repeat, and if they could do that, that'd be kind of sweet for them. But Aeon will probably have something to say about that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch this first match because it's one of these matches where we have an obvious favorite. I mean, if you were the champion from last championship, you're probably in a good spot to take it. And as you can see, they have not lost a single match just yet.
Yeah, Aeon 78%, 75%, 75%. They're pretty good. It's safe to say they are a match for PP Boys. It's going to be difficult for PP Boys, but I guess we're all expecting PP Boys to move on. Hopefully, Aeon can give us the upset we desperately want.
Well, we have seen in the other regions that as soon as an undefeated team has a loss on their record, they either crumble under that pressure or have to take a timeout and readjust themselves because whoa, what is a loss? So it's going to be interesting. If Aeon could probably take one, I think they'll put PP Boys into, put them back into a corner a bit.
Yep.
Well, hopefully they use that timeout then and recollect themselves and figure out what went wrong. We saw that actually in the finals of Asia before, where It's Time did take a timeout after losing the first match. Actually, that was in finals.
It was the finals as well, because
I
think they took a timeout and then just blasted the rest of it.
Yeah, they took...
I think it was the semifinals where they took the timeout after losing the first game, and then they won 7 in a row.
Yeah.
After winning 3 and then 4.
There were timeouts being taken, and sometimes you see the class changes, other times you saw them just kind of recollect their thoughts and just push forward, and you can definitely see a difference in between the timeouts. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like we have our first game ready, guys, so let's hop on to Temple Raiders for the beginning of the Europe Championship. Here we go. And off we go. Temple Raiders first map here. Of course, remember, best of 5. So the first to 3 maps will win.
Absolutely, and there's no real class changes from what they were initially showing off. Getting into a fight here, Ramoness and Mugwe trying to support one another, trying to fend off a fight here, 3v2. Gotta wonder what's going on. And Hoarder does come in to kind of back it up again, but a lot of damage taken by Ion here.
Yeah, both of these Grandmasters doing kind of what they need to do, which is get up front, grab, and let the other classes kind of deal that damage. as Dremesis on that Raven looks like he's going to go down, but we can see, oh, he's still holding on somehow.
Holding on, tucked down Tagliaferri, but Temps is kind of carrying that team right now, and Chamurai not doing so bad either. Mugwe and Tagliaferri are the ones that do the initials. Get as much damage as possible and take the hit right now. It's going to be kind of great to see what happens next here.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff so far, and pretty similar compositions as well. Just wanted to point this out, just the Raven difference for Dremesis. Other than that, you know, they both got a Grandmaster, not something you see all the time, but might be pretty common here in Europe, as the statue will go over to PP Boys, and they have picked up a bunch of kills. Chamurai has really held on to all his points very well so far.
Yeah, and is looking to make more as he looks at that monument, but realizes that maybe it's a bit of a dangerous situation when you're sitting on 25 points. One of your team members is already almost down, just got the restoration, but still fighting, still going at it, holding on as much as he can. Horda, Mugwe, and Dremesis need to kind of get into gear, especially now that Lagos is spawning in the middle of the field.
Yeah, right now PP Boys are taking all the objectives. They have a slight advantage in the objectives, but they are taking a lot of the PvP trade-offs here. Horda really down to a sliver of health there. Mugwe also down, and hasn't been charging in as much as the Grandmaster most likely would. You know, you see Tagliaferri also jumping in whenever they can. Temps is just raining fire down from everywhere possible with the Lagos spawned in the middle there.
Yeah, Chamurai in the bushes, coming out, jumping in through Lagos, trying to hunt down whatever he can get, looking for more damage, taking the monument as well, pumping more points into this Lagos.
Yeah, taking that ice artifact is going to be really, really nice for setting up kills before potentially bursting down the Lagos. They're not going to do that just yet. They're actually delaying taking the Lagos so far, as a bunch of the guys on PP Boys have taken a bunch of damage, and now it's time to target down the Lagos. Who's going to pick it up? It will be, in fact, PP Boys, who do get that last hit. Tagliaferri, very good at that from what I can remember in the past, and he will send his team very far ahead.
And Dremesis goes down. Horder's taking a lot of hits here. Tagliaferri just hunting alongside with Temps, trying to take down anyone that they can.
I mean, Tagliaferri has been a bit of a wild cannon in this. He has been dropping quite often for his team. So he's going to have to try and play a little bit more defensive for the Grandmaster, but he doesn't even seem to care that he's carrying all these points. He is going after Mugwe. Grandmaster versus Grandmaster. They're spiral cannons away. And see, now has Dremesis in his sights, but he's taking a lot of damage. Will he go down? Will Aeon be able to swing this battle at the last seconds?
Tagliaferri bounces out from there, but is being hunted down and still holding on for dear life.
He's still going in. And he picks up the lightning even at the last second. This is kind of what I expected from PP Boys. They are quite dominant, and they really crushed him in that first match.
I mean, Tagliaferri right at the end was basically a whisker away from dying, and then gets the lightning, and it's just like, can you imagine being Mugwe in that situation? Just being like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get him. Oh, well, let's just consider this over, boys.
There is a reason why Tagliaferri was the MVP of the previous tournament, and you know, as his teammates have been calling him, he is the floor cleaner and floor general at this point. You have that many points, you have a sliver of health, and you see someone coming at you, and you're like, let's fight, and you still go for it? That's impressive. That is high caliber play there.
Yeah, PP Boys were far enough ahead, I think, that it wouldn't have mattered too much if Tag had died there, but I mean, it's still a risk, because we've seen that earlier as well, where like a team would be really far ahead, the key player drops, and then someone else drops within that last like 5-6 seconds, and suddenly the match just swung over to your opponent. So it is risky play, but Tag didn't even die, so I don't know why, you know, we're talking like this.
Yeah. Really, really dominant first map there, and game number 2 is ready, so let's hop into it right now. All right, off we go on to Keeper of the Relics, of course, our second map here in the pool. As once again, we're going to have to see Aeon, who are definitely the underdogs in this match, try to put on a better showing than they did in game number 1.
Right now, going after the ballistas, both teams, you have some people defending their own ballista, but my goodness, PP Boys have just gone all 3 in. Now let's go do this. But is paying a price for it. Tagliaferri goes down. Temps is going down as well at this point.
Yeah.
Mugwe, Dremesis, and Horder are just working as a team at this point. Definitely concentrating their attacks more than they did in the last one.
It felt like they were trying to bait the ballista death because I think it's within a slither, and there it goes. The ballista is down, and there is still 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this match.
I was told that this would not happen, but it did happen. Tagliaferri goes down. Mugwe holding all the points, and this is going to be an interesting strategy to see. How is PP Boys going to deal with this? Because they got their main point holder a death in there.
Yeah, and now that I'm remembering it, I think it was actually PP Boys that would do this strategy. Very unconventional. You do give the enemy team a bunch of your points right from the get-go, but maybe they just have that much confidence that they can take out Mugwe without any problems and get back their points here, and they're really going to need it if they want to come back in this one.
Right now, they're getting all the 2v1s in their favor. You know, Mugwe goes down, Dremesis went down, Hoarder also went down. Their PP Boys' engagements are superior right now. Objective-wise, pretty similar, but the PP Boys have already taken out the Ballista.
Yeah, and it's going to be, this Lagos is all or nothing for both teams. If PP Boys can secure this on someone like Chamri, it's going to be great. If they lose it, it might just be the game going over to Aeon. It's already worth 262 points, and it looks as though they're going to be adding a little bit more onto this as the bars start to go down, and the other Ballista is gone. That is a huge Lagos right now. 400, nearly 450 points.
And they're not even focusing on it. Lagos is taking peripheral damage. They're just killing each other right now.
Yeah. Oh, man. And that's going to be a huge salvation here now for PP Boys. Tagliaferri picks that one up, needs to heal his teammates.
And Lagos is going down as fast as possible. Who is going to take this? Dremesis takes this one.
And there's still a minute left. There's still a minute of fighting that will happen in this game.
This is the most points being traded that we've seen in all the tournaments, and this is the second match of the EU tournament.
Yeah, and these points still keep going up. Aeon just racking them up, nearly at 1,100 right now compared to the 463 of PP Boys. The early strategy of taking the Ballista of PP Boys has definitely not worked out for them.
Well, when they said Dremesis is their slippery boy, the ace in the hole, they are not lying about this. Nobody is catching Dremesis right now. It's just providing cover fire for everyone else right now.
Trying to get on top of Dremesis now, but you can see he's really slippery on the Raven. It's hard to lock him down, and now there's only 15 seconds left.
With points being shared between Dremesis, Hoarder, and Mugwe, you got about 10 seconds left. Can they take down Dremesis and get enough points back in this?
No,
1,300 to 400. This was a massive gamble that did not work out. The most amount of points that we've seen. The game goes to Ion in this map.
Okay, 604 points, and his two teammates got over 300, one of them even above 400. So, little bit of a breakdown. That's not what we saw in any of the other regions. You're not supposed to build up the Lagos to 450 points and allow that to happen, but it certainly provided a fun match.
Yeah.
I guess.
It was a strategy that seemed to work because it was you can see Ion kind of panic, and then they were like, no, okay, let's go do this. And the points were shared between Dremesis, Hoarder, and Mugwe. They were getting their kills. They were making sure they're not getting caught in bad engagements and just slipping in and out of bad engagements. That was a spectacle to watch.
Yeah, that's why PP Boys ended up losing, because they were very top heavy. Tag had everything. Tag has been dying quite often in the first map, this map as well.
Yeah.
He died a lot. Being that top heavy really did punish PP Boys. Sharing it out from Aeon was a genius tactical move.
Really interesting strategy that time around. I can't wait for the next Keeper of the Relics. But for now, we're going to jump on to Temple Raiders for our third map. Let's hop into it right now. And so here we go, right onto the field as we're all tied up. Not something I thought I would be saying.
Yeah, and you know, the points are pretty normal here, 30 to 30.
Straight off the bat. Okay, so we see Dremesis here going in, getting out, doing what Ravens do best, just being that slippery character, but gets stuck up against the wall. He's going to get punished for that. No, he is already backed out, and we can see there's a little bit of battle here for the monument in the center of the stage, but it's only taking kind of like incidental damage, only like splash damage getting hit, but Dremesis almost down here, tries to escape. I think that's Tag in pursuit.
Yes.
It was. Dremesis goes down, Tag gets those points, Temps is also to 11, and the orbs are going pretty much shared right now.
Yeah, right off the get-go, Cham and Tag would just hunted down Dremesis, and while Dremesis was able to slip away a bit, Tag was not letting that go and just hunted Dremesis down forever and a day. Mugwe takes some heavy hits here and trading with Chamwei. Now it's hunting back Chamwei now.
I kind of feel like it was getting revenge for map number 2.
Yeah.
They couldn't take him down in the first one, or, on map number 2, so they wanted to get him right away here on this one. The hunt for Dremesis does go well. People Boys are ahead right now, as Temps has the majority of the points here. And, man, these two teams all about fighting and trying to get ahead here. PP Boys with a nice, comfortable lead so far.
Yeah, Temps is pretty low. He is sitting on the highest point total right now, so he does need to try and find some way of staying in this, whether it be heals or whatever he can do to stay alive. Chamrai does go down, but Temps racks up more and more points. He's very top heavy again on the side of PP Boys as Lagos spawns. Only 34 points this time, not the 450 of last time.
Absolutely. Tag also went down, but Mugwe paid a certain price for it. Hoarder is just trying to do their best, and you can see with Ion, they're just working as a team, and PP Boys were also traveling as a group. Now to see what they're going to do with Lagos here. Again, Lagos taking the peripheral damage. No one's really focusing on it until they probably get a couple downs.
Yeah, Tag was right on top of Hoarder there, and Hoarder does go down. And we can see PP Boys in near full control of this map right now. They're going to try to burst down maybe the Lagos, but no, they just decide that Mugwe is a better target.
Yeah, they really like fighting these guys. Generally trying to push their limits, as now Ion is going to pick up the Lagos though, and this is the problem. They're going to get the kill onto Temps and onto Chamrai. This is a massive swing in points in favor of Ion.
Oh my goodness, everyone went in on that last hit, and Temps went down. Tag has now gone down. Ion have just burst, and now the points are spread between Dremesis and Hoarder. And Mugwe is kind of hanging on with 23 there, but a sliver of health.
Yeah, PP Boys overextended through that Lagos, ended up losing it, and I mean they were just so focused on the player damage and just defeating their opponents in straight up fights that they completely forgot that this is an objective-based game.
And with 10 seconds left, Mugwe is slipping in and out. Tag and Shams are trying to catch whoever they can catch, but Dremesis, the greatest of slippery boys, is hanging around with Mugwe, making sure they don't get hit. This is a masterful performance in evading. Oh my goodness, the slipperiest of pacifists in the last 30 seconds. That was awesome.
I mean, you just can't let them get all the objectives and get so far ahead because you're never going to catch up. I feel like PP Boys are relying on their mechanical skill of their PvP and trying to take out the enemy players, but eventually, as you mentioned, if they go full pacifist on a Raven, it's like Dremesis was nearly full health there at the end.
Yeah.
It's going to be extremely difficult to get any of those points back, so I think PP Boys might need to reevaluate their strategy, and so far Ion has been impressing.
Yeah, Ion with next to no experience in previous Ramoness. They have one player who made it to the round of 32, which is Mugwe. Hoarder and Dremesis are proving that it doesn't matter how many tournaments you've got to the finals of. It doesn't matter how many tournaments you win. There are always people better than you.
Again, you can't count the PP Boys out, and would you take the time out at this point? This is a do or die situation now.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Are PP Boys doing it?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The answer is Game 4 is ready to go, so we're going to jump back on to Keeper of the Relics and see what happens this time around. All right, off we go. We're going to have to see what the strategy is this time around. As you can see, that Horde is all the way in the back there once again, just trying to shell down on his own ballista and do some defense.
Yeah, we're going to get the clown car strategy of taking the blister out immediately from both teams, because that would just make this game absolutely wild. Doesn't look like we are this time around, though. It looks like both teams are going to play a little bit more strategic on this one and not take down the ballista immediately.
Absolutely, but Mugwe takes some heavy damage there. Does go down. Temps picks up a kill there, but Tag also went down earlier to Dremesis, so trading hits, and the objectives are still quite close. None of the ballistas have gone down yet. Statue goes in the way of Ion.
Yeah, Ion slowly coming out the gates, controlling this one. They're 3 orbs to 1, and they got the statue. The monument also went their way, so it's 47 to 27, and the PvP seems to be going their way as well. PP Boys really struggling to get anything done against this underdog.
You know, Temps went down, Tag went down, and then Sham was losing a lot of health there. You could tell what Ion's strategy is. All right, you're the one left. All right, we're going to focus on you. All right, you're next. We're going to focus on you. They have been sticking together throughout the entire matchup here. Muguay Dremesis have not left each other's side. Hoarder has been just kind of bouncing in and out everywhere.
Yeah, the Grandmaster and 2 Archmage strategy just doesn't seem to be working out for the PP Boys, as they do get a little bit more points here. They are 1 orb up, but they are still down overall. It's 52 to 38 as we enter the last 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Yeah, no Ballistas down yet, so we'll see if maybe they take it right before the Lagos. We've seen that strategy before at least, so what is going to be the call here? As Dremesis is going to go down, generally a little bit less focus on the Lagos, as it seems to just take, you know, peripheral damage. Nobody really focusing it down until they get a big lead in terms of map control.
Yeah, we are seeing that PP Boys now have the game in their favor after they took down Hoarder and Dremesis. So they are in the lead, and this Lagos right now isn't the primary objective. The primary objective is to just kill.
They are just trying to kill everything, and now they're going to probably start focusing as soon as it hits about 9 bars. But Dremesis is just raining fire on everybody, hoping to get some more kills out here. Again, points are pretty close together now. Objectives in the favor of Ion, but PP Boys have made quite a bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, they have. It is slight, and it really is going to come down to who takes the Lagos, who takes the lead in this one. That's another kill on Tagliaferri. If I'm Ion, I'm focusing the Lagos right now, and you can see they're trying to go for it, and they will pick it up, and Dremesis has got the points. It's the worst case scenario for PP Boys.
The slipperiest of boys have gone the Lagos there. This is going to be rough for them. They have to make a play here. There are 30 seconds left. Ballista goes down too. Ion have taken down the Ballista now. Now you're forcing PP Boys to make a huge play going after the Ballista.
And even if they get it, it's not going to be enough.
Tense goes down. Tag goes down.
Champ goes down.
Oh,
PP Boys are in disarray right now as Aeon look to take this one and close out an upset against the reigning champions in PP Boys.
Hoarder has all the points and they can't get him. He's full health, he's got amplification, and he will survive until the end. That is Ion taking down PP Boys here in the semifinals 3-1. This is not the result we expected, but that is a really awesome performance from Ion and a great upset.
You know, I think all three of us said at the get-go that PP Boys are the favorites because of their previous history and, you know, the stories that they have in Ramoness. But my God, Ion just storming the gate with a huge upset, in my opinion.
I just don't know what to say. They just played clinically. Like, Aeon just played way better than PP Boys. And even when PP Boys were in the lead, it just felt like Aeon shifted gears slightly. They're like, okay, let's take it from third to fourth. Let's see what happens. We can always go back down into second. And they just changed it up time and time again. And it worked. And they took down the reigning champions. A complete rookie squad took down last season's first place.
That is just impressive. You know, Dremesis, Muguay, and Hoarder just playing as a team, making sure that nobody is pretty much left behind. Especially after that first round. That first match was didn't go in their direction. And, you know, all signs are pointing towards PP Boys. But then the insane Keeper of the Relics match happened. And everything went up in flames there.
Do you feel like that shook PP Boys? Because it seemed to be their strategy to take it, just dominate their opponent, kind of make them into the clowns of the clown show.
Yeah.
And then ended up losing that match in such emphatic style. I feel like that might have shook the very core of PP Boys.
I mean, it was clearly their strategy to just outplay the enemies and kind of just do whatever they wanted. So maybe a little bit less respect shown. And it makes sense when you're the former champion, you're playing a bunch of guys that, you know, their top placement was one guy who went to the round of 32. You're probably feeling like a much better team. And I think that one got stolen away from them. It's a best of 5. They had ample opportunity to try to change up their strategy, to take a timeout, but they did not. And today, Ion was the better team, so they absolutely deserve the win.
Absolutely. A team that has apparently 1 extrovert and 2 introverts, for a team that doesn't apparently communicate that much, seemed like they were so in sync. As soon as tag goes down, okay, it's going to be 3v2. Pick whoever's closest. This guy's here. They all focus the fire on them. Let the other guy get the objective. I'm taking you out. And just always make sure someone was out.
Yeah, and what's interesting is they never really went for Lagos until one of the PP boys was down.
Yep.
It didn't matter who it was. It could have been Tag, could have been Champ. One of them was down, then they're like, okay, now's the time. We're 3 versus 2. We have a much better chance of taking it. They're not going to respawn in time. It's already down to 10 bars. Let's finish it, take it, hold out for the rest of the match. And that's exactly what that game plan was, just executed perfectly on the side of Aeon.
Yeah, really cool stuff. We do have the results of the match here. We get to see some pretty big numbers, I would imagine, especially on Ion because of that one map. Let's take a look here. Hoarder has hoarded all of the points, almost 900 in the just 4 games, just 4 maps. Pretty insane. Tagliaferri also gets a nice amount for his team. But yeah, that one map really
really shook things up. It was,
yeah.
I mean, Hoarder played great on that Archmage, but Dremesis on the Raven just, again, Raven play always seems to be the flashiest. It always seems to be the one that rewards knowing the current game state a lot more than the others.
For me, the people I was keeping my eye on were both Mugwe and Temps, actually. Mugwe was able to make his engagements count, especially when, okay, I have a sliver of health. All right, I'm going to take you out. Oh, wait, there's an objective here. I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to get this done. Temps as well, just being able to rain as much damage as possible, helping Tag get the points that they needed, but it just didn't work out in their favor, especially after that huge gamble. It did seem like they were kind of shaken up a bit.
Yeah, my favorite strategy from Ion was when the Lagos went over to Dremesis, and you're like, oh, he's probably going to get the Ballista and run around, right? The second he got the Lagos, all 3 members of PP Boys were like, kill Dremesis! And throughout the chaos, Hoarder just snuck up to the Ballista, took the Ballista, and they're like, wait,
Yeah.
wait,
We're
that's not the Raven.
I didn't know that they
This
could
is
do that.
weird. Yeah, you were talking about communication. I mean, that was just like
Yeah.
a really nice
It was
maneuver.
crazy to see Ion just make fast decisions. There was no,
Yeah.
we've seen in other regions and other matchups where, okay, the Lagos is down, everyone regroup, then go. Especially when you have like a minute and 10, minute 20 left, you're gonna regroup, but they did not do that. Ion just kept pushing.
Yeah, and they created space for each other. When, as you mentioned, when Drem gets the points, he's the one dodging around. He's creating space. The other 2 can go and get those objectives. Maybe pick off someone who's not on the chase of Dremesis. And just everything worked for Aeon. PP Boys took a huge risk on that first keeper, and they paid the price.
Yeah, so that was our first semifinal. Pretty exciting to have that one end in that fashion. We do have Brocalypse, or Brocalypse, up against Fight Club for our next semifinal. It's going to be a pretty interesting one. We got former teammates clashing head to head, but we are, of course, guys, going to take about a 15-minute break before we do get into that second semifinal. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the Ramoness Championship for the Europe region. And so far, we've already had a banger, a 3-1 victory by Ion over PP Boys, a very big upset in our minds. And now we move on to the next semifinals, which is also going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be Brocalypse?
We're going with Brocalypse.
We're going with Brocalypse. Brocalypse versus Fight Club. Now, there's a bit of story here. Smithy used to be with two of the members that are on Brocalypse and went off on his own, started Fight Club, and has made his way to the round of 8.
Absolutely. So we're going to see, Smithy already has a very storied career within BDM, Lakika and Player One as well. You got a couple of new faces around here in terms of, the Ramoness placements and whatnot with Grim, Relocate, and Nem. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope it's going to be as wild as the first semis were.
You can see already the results here. Ion was able to move ahead with the 3-1, and it was a relatively dominant 3-1. They dropped the first map, which was one-sided to PP Boys, and then we were all like, okay, well, PP Boys probably going to take this. No! Ion stepped in, took 3 in a row, and took the first semi. So PP Boys will have to play in the 3rd, 4th place match. Ion is playing the final later on today. Fight Club up against Brocalypse will be our second match of the night. As not really sure who's going to be taking this one. It'll be pretty interesting, but here is Fight Club. Smithy, obviously, the most storied player and will be the key player in this situation.
Yeah, as you can see, first place champion under his belt in last year's season 2. Got 3rd place in the final season of the year last year. And he is just one of the players that everyone in Black Desert Mobile seems to know. And he is joined by Grim and Relocate.
Yeah, just because they don't have the same accomplishments as Smithy does doesn't really take away from the fact that they are in the semis. So there must be a reason why they're here, and it's going to be very interesting to see what their dynamics will be with the Archmage, Huntress, and Grandmaster if they should so choose to keep this lineup.
Yeah, and you mentioned one of those classes. They're not one that we've seen so far in this tournament, the Huntress. Used to be very popular, even overpowered, some might say, in the past, but nowadays, a little bit less popular, but still, Grim is going to be playing it here in this tournament, so curious to see how that pick is going to work out for them.
Yeah, and Smithy being as veteran as he is, picking up 2 rookies like that, it says a lot about the rookies.
Absolutely, and here we have with Brocalypse, with Lakika, Nem, and Player One, Archmage, Grandmaster, Fletcher, a similar kind of composition that we've seen before, which is a long distance person, a close range person, and someone who can move in and out in Fletcher.
Yeah, Lakika, Nemi, and Player One, brothers from different mothers. And they're here to bring the apocalypse. I guess that's where they get their name from. And Brocalypse. And yeah, Lakika and Player One have been around for quite some time. They finished 3rd together with Fair Trade, with Smithy. So it's going to be interesting how former teammates are going to go against each other here.
Absolutely, and to see Nem in there as well, it's going to be quite a story to tell after today. And here are your odds.
Yeah, pretty interesting here. That some of the numbers don't quite line up, but both of these guys, the fact that they made it into the semifinals, just very good in its own right. So pretty interesting to see there some of the numbers that they have been able to pick up. Very excited for this series to see who's going to get revenge on the other. All 3 guys from Fair Trade last championship. Of course, as we mentioned, meeting up here once again.
And again, those numbers don't really tell the full tale because, as we saw in the last semi, PP Boys were undefeated and then got bounced out of the semis. So it's going to be interesting. I think you usually take the first 2 matches to kind of feel each other out. Was not applicable in the last semifinals, but in other semifinals in other regions, that's generally what happens. So it'll be nice to see what their team play is.
It's going to be interesting if we get another super early ballista, because that really does change the flow of the whole game.
Well, we did say that EU may have some surprises, and y'all did, so that'll be good.
Let's see if we get any more surprises here. We do have map number 1 loaded up and ready to go, so let's hop into it right away. All right, here we go. Back on the Temple Raiders for our first map of this best of 5. As we will see Fight Club and Brocalypse going head-to-head.
You know, Lakika made that initial push in there, and you can see these teams are playing a little bit more passively than we saw in the last semi, where they're just sticking together and kind of feeling each other out while fighting over the monument in the middle there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these walls play into effect, especially with Relocate. He might start to get trapped up in those walls, so he's going to have to be careful until they fall. And he's already taken quite a bit of damage, is frozen up, but still lives to fight another day.
Player 1 goes down, and they are tied up in orbs, but it's still too early to tell exactly what's going to happen around here. You can still see both teams here are sticking together. That has been their plan, and I believe they're just waiting to pick someone off while collecting objectives along the way.
Yeah, Nemi and Player 1 have both fallen. Relocate is incredibly low, but is pumped back up and ready to fight. So it is going all Fight Club's way at this moment.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for them so far, and no surprise to see Smithy up there on top in terms of the points. We'll see if he can keep that up. With the monuments still available, both teams getting 4 orbs apiece as we're nearing the Lagos spawn.
Smithy backs into Lakika, but Lakika does go down. Smithy on an absolute tear through his former teammates and is still up fighting. All the walls are down in that corner, so there's a lot more room for Nemi and Relocate to engage on each other. Smithy is very, very low, but gets out of dodge and still is up, still hasn't fallen, and picks up another orb there.
Again, no one is focusing on the Lagos until they probably get one more player down. Fight Club in somewhat of dire straits here, but are holding their own here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can make any work happen. You see that a lot of damage is being done to the Lagos by Player 1 over there. They're trying to chip away at it and prepare it so that they can maybe get a kill and then go straight onto the Lagos. Still Fight Club in the lead here and not looking to back down from the fight.
Yeah. Unless there's a salvation that comes out here, Fight Club is going to lose a lot of points there. You see Relocate go down, and now they're hunting. They're trying to take down Grim and Smithy on the side there. Smithy's on a 2v1, but has gotten out, regrouped with Grim.
Yeah, they are in a bit of trouble. They have next to no health to play with, so they're going to have to time this steal. Ooh. Nemi gets it. Grimju pays a price, and suddenly Brocalypse are in the lead.
Absolutely. You know, Grim is taking a lot of damage from that, and Smithy is still hanging on. Again, there's a reason why he's at the top. But Nemi trying to take down this monument here, but is being flanked by Smithy there.
Yeah, Nemi is stunned up. Smithy dropping the rock. Can he get the kill? He's frozen up. He breaks out. He's starting to really get in the face of Lakika. But is he going to be able to do enough damage before going down? Smithy is out. Lakika is on top. Nemi is down as well on the side of Brocalypse. It is incredibly close. 11 points separate these teams. Lakika is low. Player 1 is low.
And that's going to do it. That's going to be the end of that. Lakika and his team, they will pick up the victory here. Brocalypse taking map number 1. Pretty close, even down to the wire there, as both these teams seem pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it seemed like Brocalypse, what they were doing was they saw Smithy in dire straits, they saw Grim in dire straits, and they just left it. They kept going for other objectives. They kept trying to pick off a little bit of chip damage here and there. And then when it came down to like the final 20 seconds, okay, we're going head on, take out Smithy, take out Grim. Okay, we've got our points. And they did, genuinely, they did spread out the points amongst them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, Smithy, Grim, and Relocate were all incredibly low around the time Lagos spawned, which meant that they couldn't really engage without risking everything. Like, they'd lose all their points. So they sat back and were like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? During this time, Brocalypse were up in the Lagos knowing that Fight Club could not contest. Because if they got close, there was just so much damage from Lakika as the Archmage that Smithy, Grim, and Relocate could all die, and they would then give the Lagos away while also pumping the numbers up on that Lagos.
Absolutely. Even though you should be, it's expected that you should be keeping track of what your enemy's health points are, that was masterful play. Just making sure, keeping them in check the entire way through.
Yeah,
well done, Brocalypse.
Pretty interesting stuff there. So Brocalypse do move ahead 1-0. We're going to have to see how the next map does play out as we are ready to hop into map number 2 right now. All right, here we go. Back onto the Ballista map, Keeper of the Relics, as we'll have to wait and see what the strategies will be here for the second semifinals.
Both teams passed each other like flies in the night and just went for each other's ballista right there, and aren't going to take it down.
Well, that's a shame. Okay, Relocate, trying to find out what he can. He did get back onto the ballista to try and pick up a distracted soul. Smithy grabbed up there, but is going to be able to get back up and get away here. So he still fights another day. Player 1 taking a little bit of damage. Nemi has dropped though. So the slight advantage right now goes to Fight Club again in these early stages of the game. But Smithy is down and Grim looks soon to follow. Grim is just losing health. He's hemorrhaging his hit points right now.
You know, the objectives are pretty close. The PvP exchanges are being traded as opposed to going one side right now. And again, you see both teams regrouping, recalibrating their attacks and trying to pick each other off while getting the objectives on the sides.
This is favoring Brocalypse. They have more health to play with. But as I say that, Lakika starts eating damage. Is he going to go down? No, he seems to have stabilized right now. Grim is still up. Relocate is picking up health, but is slowly losing it. Is he caught out? We'll see here. Grim trying to do what he can from the sides to help his teammate to kind of protect Smithy as well. Smithy picks up some more points here. Freeze has gone down. It is 57-30. Make that 62-25 as player 1 goes down.
Yeah, this is just an absolute onslaught. Nem went down, Lakika went down, then they focused on player 1, all the while getting the statue in the middle. Objectives and PvP have gone in the way of Fight Club. Lago's taking some personal damage again over here. They're not going to quite focus on it until they get into the later stages here.
Yeah, they've still got a pretty nice setup here, especially with the Hunters just laying into that. Lagos prepping it essentially, as it looks like maybe they do want to focus it down a bit early here, as the last hit will go to Lakika, though he picks it up at the perfect time, and now he is on the hunt. Grimju has so many of these points, and he's trying to just take them away, as he will take a ton of damage there.
Relocate went down, and some points went in the favor of Brocalypse here. Objectives are pretty much tied up again. Now we're going to see how the Ballista play comes out. There's a minute left. Let's see what happens. Are they going to take the Ballista out quickly or wait till the last 10 seconds?
I mean, the issue for Fight Club is they do have to push onto the Ballista to get that down, which means, I mean, Brocalypse could just sit there and wait for them to collapse in because they know they can set that trap. They have the time. They have the points to play with. But player 1 is almost down, and that might be the go sign. Relocate does go down on the side of Fight Club, is back up now. Player 1 is out of the picture. Almost. He has next to nothing left in the tank. Goes down.
Gets one there too as well. Grim goes down. Nem nearly goes down. Does go down. Smithy on an absolute tear right now, and Brocalypse needs to get to that Ballista.
Yeah, but they've pulled out of the range of Brocalypse. Even if the Ballista goes down, Fight Club still might be in the driving seat of this one. It's 425-88. Can they deny the Ballista? They cannot, but it finishes anyway, and Fight Club get the victory.
Well, just like that, somehow, they were able to pull that one back, and they will tie this up 1-1 now. Fight Club and Smithy doing an awesome job holding on to all those points and just surviving for much longer.
Yeah, just having that open space and watching them kind of, you know, move around everywhere and using the map and their open space to their advantage, staying alive for so long, and as well as getting the Ballista and then like, okay, you need to come to us now.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Great work, guys.
Yeah, they're sitting back and letting Brocalypse like have to push and making them push, and you saw that Ballista didn't go down until like 3 seconds left. They didn't have much time, and during that, Fight Club was still getting a couple of the orbs. They were still generating points elsewhere, and that helped them win.
Absolutely. You know, when you had the Lagos go down, you saw Brocalypse kind of pull back and defend their own Ballista, but I don't know if that was the smartest move there.
Yeah, pretty interesting tactics that time around. Again, a very evenly set matchup here between these two teams, and we're ready to go back on the Temple Raiders, so let's jump into game number 3. And off we go. Once again, all tied up 1-1. It has turned into a best of 3, and a best of 5. And let's see who's going to take this next one.
Yeah, some early engagements here. Both teams kind of just feeling each other out, trying to poke at the monument here. Not taking too much damage, not really engaging with each other. And as I said, that Smithy starts to put on a little bit of hurt.
But Relocate taking a heavy damage there after getting on freeze on them. Smithy also taking a lot of damage here. Again, both teams are sticking together, making sure that their engagements count the most. Nem going up against Smithy here. Can't seem to finish off Smithy though. Nem now focusing on, oh my goodness, he was going on a 2v1 there.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be shying away from this. Grim is kind of behind him, trying to get what he can done. Relocate as well up in that corner, so he might have to back up, but Smithy is incredibly low here. He's going to be out of the fights until he can get some healing. And that might just play right into Brocalypse's hands. Smithy, though, smells blood in the water. He sees player one is low, picks up the kill, and gets out of dodge, but runs right into trouble. But he is still up.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what he was able to do there, but still the point lead going in the favor of Brocalypse. They have more objectives here, and they have taken down some more members as Nemi is on top in terms of the points. Statue, though, Smithy is going to be able to pick up that as well, but he is incredibly low as he will go down. Brocalypse holding on to that lead.
Paid a heavy price for getting that, but you know, again, objective-wise, Brocalypse with 10 orbs there, Fight Club with 5 and a statue, and Lagos is now... Is that Lagos? Yeah, Lagos is now spawned. Smithy is still kind of holding back on the sides there. No real PvP death exchanges here.
Yeah, not really trading
Lagos
the
is
blows.
going down fast now.
Yeah, and
Nem is waiting. They're waiting right now. They're waiting for the last hit.
yeah, they're sitting real far back. Brocalypse, they might just give this up. Relocate tries to slow down that advance, doesn't really manage to do it. Relocate does get it though. Fight Club take a very narrow lead.
Yeah, and this is what happens. You go all in trying to take that down. You're in danger of the lightning. As you can see, a lot of that damage was coming out from Relocate. He is looking to clean up the kills, and he will be able to take out Nemi, and he is still on the chase for more.
Yeah, he's getting down player one as well. He's all up in those grills. Gets the stun, gets the kick. Player one has nothing to play with. Relocate on basically 20% HP here is going to try and hide away, just save those points for another day. And we're going to see Smithy come into play, trying to do what he can. Nemi runs into trouble. It's a 3 versus 1. Nemi goes down.
Relocate goes down as well. Ooh, yeah, those exchanges, I'm not so sure if that was so worth it. You know, Nemi lost a lot of points on that, whereas Smithy is still the point bearer. Relocate still has quite a few points here. They got about 20 seconds left. I'm not so sure what they can do here. They have to start taking out some of their better point bearers here.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Relocate also gets the statue, so with pretty full health bars here and 7 seconds left to go, it looks like Fight Club might be able to take this second victory for themselves, as with 2 seconds, they're actually going to go down. So Smithy and his team Fight Club here will be able to take a second victory and are now on match point.
Yeah, just, you know, you saw with Fight Club at that point, they were more functioning as a team. They were trying to make sure that the PvP trade-offs actually works in their favor. Okay, I'm going to go down. I'm going to do as much damage before I go down, take as many objectives. It seemed like Brocalypse had the advantage. It was all the objectives in their favor.
Yeah, and then they lost the Lagos, and that was that. Relocate ended up picking that up, got the last hit, and just made life difficult for Brocalypse after that. Smithy, though, sitting on all those points. It's 5 seconds left. You know what he decides to do? I'm going to go kill Nemi. Like, why?
Yeah.
It was an unnecessary risk, but I think, you know, you got to have fun while you're playing, right? And getting that kill on Nemi would definitely have been fun.
When you feel good, you play good. That's the way I think about it. So, you know, huge congrats to Fight Club. The way that they were playing, they just took it to them.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. We'll see if they can close it out here as map number 4 is ready to go. And here we are back on Keeper of the Relics for potentially the last match. We'll see if Brocalypse can actually challenge Fight Club here.
And again, what we're seeing here is taking down the ballistas to a minimum health so that they can make a last-minute play when needed. And now we start going into the PvP engagements. Relocate and Smithy were going after player 1, but had disengaged now. They're just doing, basically firing off shots, holding each other off.
Yeah, just trying to chip that damage in, so when the orbs do start spawning, they have a slight advantage. But player 1 has took an absolute ton of damage before the orbs even get up on the field. He's got to play defensively, you would think, but no, he's deciding to go in. He has taken a lot of damage and does go down to Relocate. So Relocate at 14 points here. It is 36-28, 3 orbs to 1. Fight Club look like they might be able to seal this early on. This early game will be theirs, but what matters is what comes after.
Right now is this, the objectives and the PvP trade-offs are going in the ways of Fight Club. Nemi goes down. Player 1 did go down. Lokika, though, holding their own there. But, as soon as one player goes down, you're at a 3v2. And as soon as they start to pinch in on you, you have to be able to disengage as quick as possible.
It's looking pretty good for Fight Club in this early game. Even though Lakika picked up that statue, he's got the majority of the points, so if he goes down, he's now at half health. That would be a pretty nice win for Fight Club, who's got their points nicely spread out between the 3 of them. Even Smithy able to pick up an orb and gain some more points for himself. So having that even distribution, of course, will always be nice.
That ballista goes, is it down?
No, it's so close though.
It is very close. As soon as it takes any peripheral damage, it will go down. Lagos now is just taking a... You gotta feel bad for Lagos, man. You just gotta feel bad. That's a lot of health being taken down right away.
He was just born.
Everyone just focusing in on it. Which way is this gonna go? It goes in the way of Grim.
So Fight Club turning those screws and turning them hard as they are in the lead. There is a 50-point difference between the two teams. Lakika is pretty low. Relocate is low on the side of Fight Club. But player 1 goes down, Lakika goes down, and that lead compounds in on itself. It is 115-42 with 1 minute remaining.
Absolutely, they need to just focus in, try to get all the points out of Grim. Right now, Grim is their main point bearer here, but the Ballista play is going to come into effect very soon, I think. But the points just keep getting bigger on the side of Fight Club here.
Yeah, it's another lightning, and this time Smithy getting that one. Also some healing he would like to go for, picks that up. And yeah, I mean, their 2 healthiest members are looking really good. Whereas on the side of Brocalypse, you're really bleeding, people are going down. They don't have much time to try to catch up here.
Yeah, and now it is the Ballista play time. We know that Fight Club have, I think Brocalypse is down to next to nothing, so they can sneeze in that direction and take it. But they have to get it. There it is. Smithy gets 1. Lakika gets the other, and Fight Club still have the lead. There are 5 seconds remaining on this one. 60 points separate the 2. 1 kill will be enough. Lakika's got to go down. Grimdew is out, though.
Ooh. Oh, that was close.
That got real close.
But Smithy, he was the one that had all of the points for his team, and he was able to hold on to those. So Smithy and Fight Club, they will secure their path into the finals with a 3-1 victory. Nicely fought out there. I really felt like it could have gone either way, and it was close in most of our maps.
Yeah, the last 5 seconds, we need to break that down. There was a lot of things happening.
Slow-mo
One Ballista
replay
goes...
time.
Absolutely, we do need that. One Ballista goes down, the other Ballista goes down, and then mayhem ensued in there. Because, what Fight Club did was take the Ballista and goes, you need to come get your Ballista now, and we're going to hang out here and try and rain as much damage on you as possible. So even if you take the Ballista, you're easy pickings at the end there.
Yeah, and I mean, the story that we have to talk about is Smithy has taken down his former teammates and showed that the reason why they finished, 3rd, was not because of him.
Well,
or it was because of him.
And now he's got some good teammates. Either way, he and his new team, Fight Club, are going to achieve a higher score than Fair Trade did in the last season. So that is pretty nice if you are Smithy, that they do make it through, of course, with his 2 teammates. Able to make it up to the next round. And unfortunately for Brocalypse, they will have to go to the 3rd and 4th place match and see if they can try to catch on to 3rd and maybe get those 10,000 pearls.
Yeah, PP Boys versus Brocalypse is going to be a bloodbath.
It is going to be a bloodbath for sure. There's going to be some wild strategies put in there for sure as well. But, nothing to take away from Brocalypse. They did quite well. Lakika, player 1, definitely kind of anchoring that team and making sure that they get the engagements off right. Nems was the initial engager, but just didn't get the PvP trade-offs in his favor.
Yeah, well, we do have the results here. We're going to take a look at who was able to net the most amount of points. Of course, it will be Smithy, as I believe he had the majority of the points in both of the Ballista rounds as well. You can see that Pika and Nemi were close by each other, but Smithy far and away the highest there and will achieve rank 1.
What's interesting here is the distribution. Only like the first place really going the way of Fight Club. Second and third going to Brocalypse shows how like one slip up by Fight Club could have cost them everything.
Absolutely. Like we said, usually we say that the points don't tell the full tale, but in this one it kind of does tell a tale where points are generally more spread out on Brocalypse, but on Fight Club it's just Smithy going ham on everybody.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that final as well, because Ion feels relatively, they're like an intelligent playing team. They have like the more passive styles, the slippery style, whereas Fight Club here, pretty in your face. They like to fight, and so that final, that best of 7, will be interesting to see what kind of strategies are deployed. I think the third, fourth place, as you guys mentioned, might just be a straight up bloodbath between those two teams. So will be a lot of fun in that match as well.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 heavyweights in the third and fourth place, kind of trading slugs, and then in the second place, relatively unknowns plus Smithy. Like, it's gonna be an interesting final, but we do have to get through PP versus Brocalypse.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great bloodbath, just because, like I've said this before, the best defense is an even better offense, and there is no other better exemplification of this than these two teams.
Yeah, going to be pretty interesting to see. Of course, as is the way of things here, we are going to have to take a bit of a break. About 15 minutes is the way it usually does go down. But of course, make sure you guys are paying attention to those events. Go to the website if you have some extra time during the break. But we will see you guys after 15 minutes before we do get to that third and fourth place match. Welcome back, everybody, to the BDM Ramoness Championship for the European region, as we are getting into the third and fourth place match. A couple of our teams who unfortunately did not make it through the semifinals will be having an insane matchup here, or at least that's what we're expecting going into this one.
Yeah, Brocalypse versus PP Boys. It's going to be a battle for the ages here, as third and fourth place should be an exciting matchup. We have Brocalypse with Lakika, Nemi, and Player One, and we have PP Boys with Temps, Chamrai, and Tag. I'm too tired to say the full name. Tagliaferri. It's going to be a great showing. Both teams in their last fights didn't really get the best of things. They kind of maybe threw a little bit, not through, but like, you know, they let it slip out of their own hands.
Absolutely. You know, in both semifinals, the first match, they did have a very strong showing, both of these teams. They also had some very unconventional kind of plays in terms of, you know, how to engage, always staying back, or, you know, take the time to regroup. What we've seen so far today, though, in all regions actually, is teams that have gone back to regroup have had a lot more issues than those who just kept pressing forward.
True. The offense is the best defense, as you put it, as we do have a bunch of events, guys, that you will want to check out. You can go to the website,
world.blackdesertm.com.
and there you can find more information about our 3 events. A couple of them require your participation. One of them, the coupon, will just show up at the end of the day today, so make sure you guys are tuning in all the way up until the end to get that great coupon and definitely participate in the other couple of events. But either way, guys, we do have the first map loaded up and ready to go, so we're going to hop into that right away.
Oh, and talking about hopping, that is a 3 shy team on the side of Brocalypse. So we're going to see how this plays out. Will they be able to take the win? We'll find out. Lakika is getting very, very low on this shy. On this shy? They're all shies. I mean, it's going to be hard to decide here. Nemi does go down so quickly, but Player One does pick up a kill. Lakika is getting points on the board for his team right now, as it is 3 orbs to 1.
Yeah, the PvP advantage going to the PvP boys here, but Brocalypse getting the orbs, you know, as well. But as soon as their numbers are going down, they're just not making enough advancements here.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not really getting it done. Chamrai is going to topple the statue, and you can see this battle over here, not exactly fair. Chamrai getting on top of Lakika and just pushing him away.
Yeah, getting punished for the 3 shy play here are Brocalypse, as PP Boys continue their domination of this map. Lakika is down, Nemi is down again, and it's 7, 6, and 5 on the side of Brocalypse.
Yeah, right now it's just utter domination by PP Boys. Objectives are relatively close, but the PvP is going the way of PP Boys. 71-18, and Lagos has yet to spawn.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when that Lagos spawns. If PP Boys can hold on to the Lagos, or will they lose it to Brocalypse? It's going to be the turning point of this game, but PP Boys just look way too strong at this point.
And Lagos has now finally appeared. They're not going to focus on this right now. What they're going to try and do is get their engagements, but Nemi goes down, Player One goes down, Cham, Tag, and Temps are just racking up points right now.
Yeah, this is really one-sided. There's not really much the Shies can do. We'll be curious to see if they actually have a chance to knock down the Lagos at all, or if they will continue just getting utterly stomped here in this first map.
Yeah, Lagos is not being looked at whatsoever. Cham, Tag, and Temps are just racking it all up here. You know, you see Player One trying to make it a somewhat of a fight here, but is being taken down. Can't really hang on there.
Would you say that he needs to cheer up?
He would indeed need to cheer up. Lagos goes down, Temps gets it, and Player One goes down. Nem goes down, Lakika goes down. Temps is just lightning everything around him.
Yeah, not much the 3 Shies can do against the lightninged up Archmage at this point in time, as we're seeing that this comp is, it's not really working out, but I suppose we enjoy the attempt here, as at least player 1's gonna pick up an orb, I suppose.
I imagine at one point they're going to be needing a timeout, you know? But yeah, right now it's a contest between Temps and Chans for, Point Bearer taking down player 1. Now, player 1 got 11 points there.
Well, yeah, he got a couple of orbs, I suppose, but he is sufficiently punished right away, right after that one, as Temps actually does get knocked down. But that is going to be an absolute stomp. I suppose that's almost what we expected after seeing the compositions here going into the 3rd, 4th place match.
Yeah, the 3 Shy composition isn't known for its great structure, I guess would be the term that I need to use there. We'll see if they try to continue with this, but we all know that that's not what Shies are really built for, right?
No, especially with the 3 Shy composition. It's something that myself and Sherna would do if we were in this tournament, but there is a reason why we are not in this tournament. That is actually one of them.
Yeah, and we do have a timeout. As you can imagine, I would think that we're going to switch up that composition, maybe a little bit of fan service there from the guys on Brocalypse, but yeah, I don't think they're going to run that one back.
No, that was definitely a pocket strat that I just don't think we'll be seeing ever again in the history of the Ramoness tournament.
It was a surprise.
It was.
We have said that, or asked that, EU probably does have a couple surprises. You have succeeded twice. But yeah, they'd have to run that, run something different. They can't run that one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much we can really say about that whole match because...
On Keeper of the Relics, though, with an open map, you see Shy surfing around. What are you going to do?
Catch them and kill
them.
Okay. It was just a question. It was a question. So, I got the answer.
What do we think? Are we gonna keep any Shies? Or are they all getting swapped?
They're all getting swapped.
They're all getting
all
swapped.
of them.
I believe they're all getting swapped. I don't think Lakika, Nemi, or player 1 knew how to surf with a Shy properly.
Yeah, there was just not enough hopping for me. Like we needed a bit more cheer ups.
Yeah, and to be fair, PP boys still don't know what to expect out of Brocalypse out of this now. They switch up the entire team composition, so still up anyone's game.
It was all a mind game all along to get in the head of their opponents, to lull them into a sense of false security.
I'm trying to name as many Shy skills as I can here. And I'm not sure if I have the right ones. Yeah.
There's only so much damage that a Florian can do.
Yeah, but the Vic Clary, man, that's where it's at. The offhand on the Shy, that's where the damage potential really is.
Is that a fact? Is that a fact?
Proven in that last one, right?
Yeah, proven in that last one. I mean,
Great.
They didn't finish at 0 points.
Yeah, with the Grandmaster Archmage combination, that was it was something.
Yeah, they were able to take out orbs.
Yeah, the orbs put up a great fight.
I think they even got a lightning there at the end. So, you never know.
It all could have changed. It all could have changed.
Maybe
the lightning
that was...
If they got the last hit on the
strategy.
Lagos and then lightning everybody, I would say, yo, that was planned. That's not what happened. Therefore,
Yeah.
But if it did, there would be huge respect for it.
There would be.
Well.
Not sure where to go from here, man.
The only way is down.
They're gonna go back on their original classes. They have to. If they want to put up a fight for this, they would have to go on their classes. Because, Lakika on Archmage is a force to be reckoned with. Nems on Grandmaster, a force to be reckoned with. We saw that in the last semi where they took 2nd and 3rd in terms of points.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see something different. Maybe we'll see Primrose and things like that. We just don't know.
We'll have to wait and see, guys. We do have the game loaded up, so we'll see what kind of surprise we are going to have to be ready for as we hop into map 2. As well, it seems like everything has returned back to normal, essentially, as we do have quote-unquote normal or, expected classes that we've seen here throughout the Ramoness Championship.
Absolutely. Both teams going for the blisters. Lakika staying back, trying to deal as much damage as possible at one point, but has now entered the fray with everyone else. Player 1 trying to shoot off at the monument as well as Temps, but has done enough chip damage. Tag took a lot of damage, taking even more, goes down now. Nems with that trade-off comes out on top, but has taken about half damage. Tag also halfway down.
Yeah, but Nemi goes down pretty much at this point. He is so low. He is back up on his feet, and he is ready to get back into it. Tag, as you said, is incredibly low. He's going to be looking for some kind of healing, an orb, anything that will get him back into the fight. There is an orb of healing, so he will be ready to go roughly to go back into player one, Lakika and Nemi.
Right now, very close scores there. Objective-wise, also pretty close. But Tag is taking a lot of hits here. Player one eating a lot of damage. Lakika also taking quite a bit over there.
I believe very staying alive with a ridiculously low amount of health at this point in time. Player one as well. And it looks like Tempest is able to take him out, but at the same time, Tagliaferri does go down. So pretty even matchup here as Nemi will pick up the freeze and will put Brocklips just barely ahead.
Yeah, this is so close. It's 7 orbs to 5. Can Brocklips be able to finish this? Will they be able to take the victory? We can see an epic duel. Temps and Tag against player one, and player one coming out roughly on top here. So it's going to be interesting to see if this continues through the Lagos phase and eventually go through to the Ballista phase.
Yeah, both teams right now with similar point distribution. Nemi taking a lot of hits over there and still taking quite a bit. Is the Grandmaster going to be taken out in this exchange? It has been taken out now, yeah. Has been taken out. Tag is picking up a lot of points, Temps as well. They're not really focusing on the Lagos. Now they're just punishing one another. This is vastly different from the Shy gameplay that we saw.
Yeah, Lakika is taking an absolute pounding right now. Tag, Temps, and Cham are all incredibly healthy. They could take whatever they want off this map right now. They have so much to play with.
The Lagos is still available. We still got the 2 Ballistas up and running at this point in time. Both teams not really making a big dash towards either of the objectives here, just waiting until the last moment. Still 19 health bars left with 40 seconds left. This is a pretty slow Keeper of the Relics in general.
We have not seen this in the tournament, in the semis and the finals in any region yet, where the Lagos has remained alive past the 1 minute mark. Still with 30 seconds left, Ballistas and Lagos are in play. They're just trying to trade off kills, and they're trying to take out Lakika, being the sole point bearer of Brocklips there.
If this Lagos survives for this whole game, he deserves a title, a medal for his valiant effort, and it looks like he will be able to survive until the end. The Ballistas are starting to go down. Is it going to go the way of Brocklips? It does, but PP Boys, they get the one in return. It's 395 to 357, and this Lagos is the winner of the Keeper of the Relics.
Lagos is definitely going to get my MVP vote on this one for sure. My goodness, that was the first time we saw that, where Lagos did not go down in a Keeper of the Relics matchup.
I think we're seeing some very special stuff tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 3rd and 4th place match, we're seeing the unseen, before unseen stuff. They obviously did that on purpose. Both teams agreed not to kill the Lagos. And at the end of the day, still PP Boys were able to come out on top.
Yeah, you saw Lakika with being the sole point bearer there. Nems and player one had a hard time catching Lakika in terms of points, and so everyone on PP Boys just focused their fire on Lakika when necessary. They kept the health down quite a bit and then picked him off right up at the end.
Yeah, they did. And we're going to be going into the 3rd match. So,
looks like it is time to go into map number 3. So let's hop back onto Temple Raiders right now. And off we go once again. We'll see if we see any crazy and wacky strategies in this map.
Well, Lakika went in for the initial engage. Player one and Nemi was trying to pinch in, but they've met with everyone from Brocklips there, or from PP Boys there.
Yeah, so we can see Lakika sticking around the back, trying to get what he can. The Monument is going to take quite a bit of beating there. Is it going to go down soon? We'll find out. It has 6 bars of health. This player one is about 75% just eating damage here. He's going very, very low.
Yeah, orb control is pretty similar. The tower does go to PP Boys, and player one is going to be taken out, but is hanging on there. Nemi taking a beating as well. Tag did go down in that exchange. Was it worth it in the end? Player 1 finally does go down.
Yeah, it's currently 3 orbs, 1 statue on the side of PP Boys, 5 orbs on the side of Brocalypse. Can Lakika get more kills? Can he pump up these numbers and bring his team the victory? They're currently a few points behind. Nemi, though, is on death's door here. He comes back up into the fray with 12 points on his name. And, I mean, Temps is just racking up the points.
Yeah, and this is the thing, the distribution once again, where it's like, all right, Temps has got all the points, and this is even before the Lagos, so we'll see if he can hold on to them.
Yeah, Temps has all the points right now. Cham and Tag are just providing the initial fire. Nem is going down. Lakika, Player 1, and Nem are sharing points in this way. A little bit more evenly distributed than it is on PP Boys, but again, it is working in PP Boys' favor. Brocalypse has the objective advantage here, but in terms of PvE advantages, it's going either way.
Yeah, so the points are incredibly close. It's 59 to 52. Brocalypse just taking the lead as they get the monument here. Lakika very low, trying to just stay away, stay out of trouble as Player 1 is trying to find some way to get his team into this. He is going to be able to take an orb here and compound that lead, but Lagos is still up and it is racking up points. Right now it is worth 40 points and PP Boys are at 100% hit points on every player.
Lagos does have the most amount of points out of everyone here. Will he be our MVP again?
That is really the question. I mean, PP Boys, they would love to just take down Lakika, but it's not looking easy so far. As actually, as I say that, he does go down, and now the actual damage will come down onto the Lagos. Who's going to get this one? The burst coming out from the side of PP Boys as Chamrai is going to pick it up there right at the last second.
Yeah, Tramp picking up that kill, gets the lightning, is going to try to hunt people down, but he's soon going to be back on his feet. There he is and does get the kill.
Takes out Player 1 and Lakika. Nemi is at half right now, and Chamrai's got to feel pretty good himself after, trailing behind in points for quite a bit.
And this is just once again looking really one-sided. Chamrai, he wants to win. He's hiding in the brush. Now he's going to get some actual damage done, but the lead is so insurmountable. Chamrai does take a bunch of damage, still 7 seconds left, but it doesn't look like that is going to be enough. As with 1 second, that's going to be even more points to the side of PP Boys, as they will take the sweep this time around 3-0.
Yeah, with Chamrai just racking up the points there, you saw Temps and Tag just cutting off all access to Chams until Chams decided, you know what, I'm going to enter the fray as well and getting the last kill right at the final second there.
Yeah, 3-0. That was an absolute sweep there.
Yeah.
I mean, PP Boys do take 3rd place. Brocalypse are going to finish in 4th. So that's all determined. I mean, what can we say? That was a stomp.
Yeah. Well, the Shy exhibition did not work out in the way the Broncos may have hoped that it would. But, PP Boys kept their focus, made sure that they stayed the course on this, and just played their game on Keeper of the Relic as well as on Temple Raiders there.
Yeah, it was clear that PP Boys, didn't matter what match they were playing, they were out for blood, and they proved very obviously that they were the better team today and overall. So props to them. Again, they were the team we were expecting to maybe go the farthest and even potentially take the whole tournament, or at least challenge Smithy's team with Fight Club. So the fact that they didn't make it, but that they still stomp in the 3rd and 4th place match, kind of, it's kind of what we were expecting at least.
Yeah, I mean, PP Boys, last season's champions, coming in 3rd, really does sing credit to the 2 teams who beat them there. I mean, Aeon and Fight Club are both fantastic teams. It's going to be an incredible final match between the 2, and especially when one of the strongest rated teams finishes 3rd.
Absolutely, especially with PP Boys just doing what they do. I think they weren't happy with the way that they finished, and so they just came out, smelling blood right off the bat.
Yeah, we do have the match results here. It is going to be Temps who picks up the majority of the points. We did only have one Keeper of the Relic, so you can see that Temps and Lakika were the ones that picked up the points from the Ballistas and were able to hold on to that. And that is why they get the majority of the points here in this match in the sweep of the 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, Cham and Tag both definitely pushed their team forward as well. They were getting into the right spaces, finding the right engagements, but Temp was the one who led the charge for his team. He kept everything, despite what was happening on Brocalypse, kept everything calm. Play the game, don't worry what they're doing. We're just going to come in, clean up, walk away with that third place title.
Absolutely, and just to give credit where credit's due, these points from Nemi and Player One don't really show the full scope of their abilities. Nemi's definitely held his own, especially not having as much of a storied background as, let's say, Player One or Lakika coming into the semis and the finals today. But great showing from everyone here. But yeah, Temps definitely did earn that top point here.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So Beefy Boys do run away with the victory. We do, of course, guys, have one more match left. It is going to be the finals, one best of 7 to decide who's going to take it. And it's a pretty interesting one because we have, 3 guys who haven't made it this far at all or even come close on the side of Ion up against Fight Club, who have at least one guy, one leader to kind of lead the charge there. And all 6 players very, very capable. But guys, we are going to take a 15-minute break first, and when we come back, we will get to the finals of the Europe region. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the finals of the BDM Ramoness Championship for Europe. We got two great teams going head-to-head, and it's one best-of-7 to decide who is going to make it into that championship finals winner. And we do have Ion coming in here, which is going to be pretty interesting. They did upset PP Boys earlier on in the semifinals up against Fight Club, who do have Smithy at the head. And this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm not really sure who to call to win this.
No, not at all. Like you can't even look at past results. I mean, if you do, then it's going to be Fight Club because of Smithy. But he's with two people who've never been here before. But then you look at Aeon, and it's two people who've never been here before, and one person who got knocked out in the round of 32. Both games went 3-1 in the first round, and then the third and fourth place match happened, which went 3-0. So the final coming up is a complete mystery. There is no clear favorite. I'm sure people out there love Smithy. I think, people will think maybe Fight Club are going to be the favorites, but Aeon, man, that first match, they showed that they're here to play.
Absolutely. Even without the story history of Smithy, the Ion team, just team play-wise, definitely showed why they belong in the finals. That wasn't, luck or fluke. It's like, no, we're here to win. Their combination of one extrovert and two introverts has really proved to be the difference maker in getting to the finals. As you hear, it is Drem, Hoarder, and Mugwe with the Raven Archmage Grandmaster combination here.
Yeah, and you can see Dramesis, he is their ace, the bouncy, slippery boy. If you see him, just run. Also, he's a chill and silent person. He was definitely my ace from the semifinals. I mean, the guy, his ability to just avoid all damage at all costs after getting the point lead. It's a couple of things that are hard to do, and he did it excellently, and it felt like PP Boys didn't really have an answer for this player.
Yeah, they didn't really have anything that could really catch the Raven, or at least knock her off balance just as she's exiting those iframes. Right. So Dremesis was key in their first victory. He needs to step it up again today against Fight Club if his team stands a chance. But we can't not talk about Mugwe as well, who was an excellent Grandmaster in that first match.
Absolutely, just tanking hits and just going off, making sure the damage is done just for Dremesis and Hoarder to kind of pick off the pieces there. They have a great team composition. They seem to be so in sync that they defeated the previously undefeated PP Boys throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah, and they made it look relatively easy. The first match, they kind of got clapped, but then they immediately turned it around and took total control. Now, they are going up against Fight Club. You guys will remember Smithy, of course, the key player here. He got third place the last time around, and he has been around playing in these championships for quite a while. And they also have a pretty interesting comp, bringing in the Huntress, which is not necessarily meta at the moment in these championships. So Graham showing some interesting colors as well. And just as a whole, even though Smithy is kind of the most obvious, most well-known player in this lineup, the three of them as a team did perform quite well.
Yeah, it is really interesting, Grim playing the Huntress instead of the Fletcher, who we've seen all tournament long, kind of as the replacement for Huntress, right? So kicking it old school, and it definitely worked in the last match. He was great.
It does seem like Smithy just went around going, I choose you to be a part of my team. And
with his Archmage hand like this.
Absolutely. And has picked out great people. So we saw in the semis where Grim played the role of Fletcher, but had the range and also the survivability, was able to move in and out, relocate with the Grandmaster play of just taking the hits and tanking it. They all have a role to fulfill, Smithy usually being the point bearer.
Yeah, so pretty cool stuff here. We see some of their records so far as, both of these teams, doesn't really matter, to be honest, what happened before this. I think that, getting a win in the semifinals the way that they did in 3-1s, that's really all you have to know. Coming into this, who is going to perform better in a best-of-7? That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, both teams show that Temple Raiders and Keeper are their kind of maps. It's the ones that they enjoy playing on, which means you can disregard every result so far. Only thing that matters now is what happens in this best-of-7.
Absolutely. They have very similar team compositions as well. The only difference between the two teams is the Huntress and the Raven, which fulfill very different roles, but Drem on Raven and Grim on Huntress are playing the classes that they are really good at.
Yeah. And that's important. Like, you do want to play the best class you can play instead of the best class considered. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and seeing the best class that supports the role that you need to fulfill on your team. This is going to be a pretty great finals, I think.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to go the distance. I don't know about you guys. I feel like both of these teams are pretty evenly matched based on the play that I saw, and I think whoever comes ahead of this one is going to gain some really great fame for winning a crazy finals that can be really close.
Yeah, Relocate and Mugwe on those Grandmasters are just going to be trading blows beginning to end. And I think in terms of that, the Grandmaster versus Grandmaster, I think Mugwe has the advantage. I think he's a little bit better on the class. Relocate did die relatively easily in the previous matches. So I think in that matchup, Aeon are going to win. But then when you get to the Archmage Smithy versus Hoarder, I mean, Hoarder was great in those games, but Smithy's Smithy.
True, very true.
That is a correct statement.
I mean, the guy is a legend. He's been here. He's been everywhere. He's played everything he can, and he is still one of the best Archmages out there.
Absolutely, but not to put anything against Hoarder or anyone else on here, it will come down to team play and how you handle the initial push and the final push.
Yeah.
As well as I think both team propositions are quite similar, so they will probably favor Keeper of the Relic more so than Temple Raise because of the open space.
Yeah. Do you think Dremesis is going to hunt down Smithy?
You mean for fun?
No, as in like the overall strategy would be to you have Dremesis against Smithy, then the Huntress, you're gonna try and match the Grandmaster against the not Grandmaster, right?
Oh, fair
so
enough.
I think we could see the Raven get up in the grills of the Archmage and just make life incredibly difficult for Smithy.
Yeah, well, I will say that with Dremesis and Ion in general, they weren't really targeting key players. They looked at the point spread and kept, okay, you have the most points, but your health is at like 25% left. I'm going to focus on everyone else. So in the last minute, I will take you out.
Yeah.
Collect all the points you want, but in the last minute, I'm taking you out.
Yeah. They're just a really smart team overall. And I think PP Boys going into that semifinals against them earlier on, it was like, well, we're just the better team. We're just going to outmuscle you. We can outplay you, outmechanics you any day of the week. And maybe they could, but Ion has played the smarter
Absolutely.
BEM. So at the end of the day, they were the ones that deserved the win, and they made it to the finals. And speaking of which, we do have Game 1 ready to go, so let's hop into that right away. And here we go, on to Temple Raiders for the finals. Let's see who's going to take that first step towards the victory.
Smithy holds the center line. They're back, flanked by Grim and Relocate. Now they're all pushing in as soon as Smithy went for the engage. Grim is trying to deal as much damage as possible, is taking quite a few hits. Relocate also taking quite a bit of damage. This is expected of Ion at this point.
Yeah, Grim here trying to just find the space he can. Dremesis behind him though. Could turn around, Relocate, goes down on the Grandmaster. Grim also goes down on the Huntress. Smithy getting dangerously low here. And Aeon come out all guns blazing and get the advantage early on in these engagements.
They saw Smithy alone there and they went for the 2v1 as opposed to the 3v1 because they left one person at the center holding off on the monument there.
Yeah, and they just got the better orbs, and they got all the orbs, right? They got the lightning, they got immediately on top of all the Fight Club, and they were easily able to burn them down. So this is a pretty massive early lead. You don't see leads like this all the time. Nobody really on the side of Fight Club, outside of that one gem, have really got many points at all in this first map.
A really strong showing by Ion there. The point spread very, very similar. All working as a team. You can see Mugwe trailing Dremesis just to make sure if anything happens. Has now engaged with Smithy. It's 1v1 here. Are they going to be able to take him out there?
Yeah, Smithy's really having trouble against that amount of CC and damage that's coming out from the Grandmasters.
Yeah, I mean, it was all up in the grills. Maybe a grab would have finished it, but it doesn't even matter. I mean, Aeon are storming ahead here. But the thing is, Aeon have all the points to give away. That's going to be key. especially with Lagos now up. How are both teams going to engage? Because both teams are pretty low.
Well, Ion right now has been more or less favoring the 1v1s, and whenever they see somebody or in reaching distance, they suddenly switch to the 2v1 here. They're trying to take out Relocate. Are they going to get the down on Relocate, though?
All of that healing coming out from the Salvation here to start off just reaffirms their lead. Yes, they have the points, but everybody's at full health again. And it doesn't look like Ion are going down anytime soon.
Yeah, but Ion are doing the smart thing they did last time. Get everyone low. When you start to engage on this Lagos, you have a massive advantage. Because the other team, if they push too far, you're just going to take them out with the AoEs. And Mugwe does get the Lagos. This lead just compounded on itself.
Smithy went down. Relocate went down. Grim hanging on for dear life here. This is an absolute show. Held by, centered by Mugwe, flanked by Hoarder and Drem there.
Yeah, these three guys have really showed up tonight. They didn't want just the semifinals, they wanted also to destroy Fight Club in the finals. They're putting on a great start here as the amplification is going the way of Mugwe. There's still 30 seconds left, so it's not over just yet. As Mugwe is getting pretty low, you see he's barely on any health here.
And Smithy's picked up a lot of points here with 32, but is he taken out? Smithy, guys. Yep, Smithy did take the down here. Mugwe is hanging on, frozen in place.
Relocate whiffed there. He went for the spiral cannon into him. Mugwe somehow wasn't hit by that, and Relocate completely whiffed a hit that would have given a massive swing in Fight Club's favor.
And that was such a clutch play from Mugwe. Saw that he was being hunted, ran towards Drem, who was the lowest point bearer there, and said, you go take this, and Drem took it. Just took the fight and made sure Mugwe stayed alive. What a performance by Ion there.
Yeah, Mugwe there felt like he was frozen in that bush for about 5 minutes. Like I was looking at the clock, I was like, this freeze is lasting a lifetime. And then you just see Relocate. He lines it up and he spirals in, and it's just wide of the target. If that hit, we might have been looking at a much closer finish, but the way Aeon played that was so ridiculously smart. Get Fight Club down to nothing, leave them be, take the Lagos.
Yeah, it's the smartest BDM we've seen so far, and we'll see if they can keep it up as we are ready to jump on the Keeper of the Relics for map number 2. And here we go. We'll see what kind of strategies are brought out here, as Ion was looking really clean the last time out on this map.
Yeah, Mugwe taking the long way around into the ballista, and him and Dremesis are going to start chipping away. Are they going to take it down? No.
Oh my goodness, Hoarder stayed back to defend the ballista and has taken out Relocate. Was handling a 3v1 in that situation there. Hoarder now taking a lot of damage, but has been rejoined by their teammates.
Yeah, the damage done on the ballista, so everyone else can come back and help out. Hoarder, Dremesis, and Mugwe are playing flawlessly right now, and Fight Club really are struggling to get a footing in this map. It is 3 orbs to 1 for Ion, but now all of Fight Club are back up at full health.
They gotta be able to get these objectives as well. They can't just rely on the 1v1 PvP situations, because you can't seem to get Ion in a 1v1 unless they should so please. Hoarder taking a lot of damage there. Is he gonna get the down? Smithy!
Smithy's the one that goes down. Hoarder takes him out of the play, so...
Relocate going down. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Grim hanging on, and I think they're just gonna leave Grim just as they are. The objectives and the PvP favoring Ion at the moment.
Yeah, but Hoarder is down pretty low. Dremesis is also pretty low. If Fight Club can somehow get Grim back up with Relocate and Smithy on the health that they have, they might be able to take a pretty decisive victory, as Grimju almost gets caught out here, but is backing away as much as he can. And Grimju goes down. Dremesis is just tearing through everyone right now.
Yeah, and good luck trying to get any damage onto him either. I mean, he was being chased, he was doing damage while he was running away, keeping the same amount of health. Now they're all gonna get frozen though, but the Salvation comes in at the perfect time again.
Yeah, you know, when Fight Club got that freeze on everybody, they were starting to hunt down Hoarder with the least amount of health and points at a time, but they just couldn't reach Hoarder in time because Mugwe cut them off. Mugwe now being the point leader, and oh my goodness.
He gets the last hit again onto the Lagos.
I mean, the guy is playing phenomenally right now, and Grimju goes down as well. Relocate is injured. Smithy is just hemorrhaging. Just everything right now. Everything is going wrong for Fight Club in this second map.
There is still 50 seconds left, but the ballista goes down really early. Aeon has taken it and is now going to just defend the ballista. They're waiting for them to close in just so they can get more kills, I believe.
Yeah, and the thing is Dremis has got this ballista point. So this is what we're going to see again. I don't know if anyone can lock this guy down. It's going to be really difficult, as we saw the first time around. We'll see if Fight Club have anything different to show.
Relocate takes it down, and that's exactly what Iron was waiting for. Come in, take the ballista, we'll rain as much damage as possible onto you. Smithy taking a lot of damage. Grim going down really quickly here.
Yeah, Hoarder getting those knockdowns onto Smithy, just giving Dremesis all the room he needs to survive with these points. And it just doesn't look like Fight Club are going to be able to do it. But there is only 60 points between the two. One kill on Dremesis or Hoarder might just be enough. Nope.
Yeah, sweeps the floor with them right at the end, and you can see almost 300. In the last 3 seconds, they were able to even extend their lead for Aeon. So 2 big stomps here in the first maps, and now it's looking like Aeon are the favorites to take this.
Yeah, it just seemed like when Ion did get the freeze on them, they just knew, okay, they're going to start attacking Hoarder because most points, least amount of health, that's the way we're going to face our camera, and goes in immediately out of the freeze to go help out.
Yeah, the level of play from Ion right now is scary.
Absolutely.
What other team can hold a candle to the way they're playing? They're playing intelligently. When they don't need to play intelligently, they're playing ferociously. These guys are just playing the best team fights we have ever seen.
Very much in sync, and you know, you can't take away from any of those teammates. You know, they're all playing as a team. There's no one that you really go, yep, you're the lead, you're gonna go ahead and do it.
No, it's pretty rough. I mean, all 3 guys on the same page, and they have 2 wins already. We'll see if they can keep the streak going, as we will go back on the Temple Raiders for map number 3. Here we go once again. Fight Club have not been able to solve them just yet, but we'll see if they can make it work now.
Smithy again leads the charge, goes straight in, was flanked by Grim, but has been met by everyone else over there. I'm not so sure that this is going to work out because Relocate is taking heavy damage. You saw Ion see Smithy come in and they just pushed right past him.
Yeah, Mugwe is definitely winning the battle of the Grandmasters right now, but all of Ion are low. Dremesis goes down. I think that's the first time he has died in this final. The guy just lives forever. Mugwe is down as well, leaking points over to Fight Club.
Yeah, Smithy takes the points there, but Relocate also goes down. Grim did take a couple downs there. Hoarder is again the point leader. Mugwe and Dremesis trying to help out as much as they can. Again, Smithy, obviously one of the top players that we've seen here, and if you engage 1v1s with them, there's a very good chance you're not going to win this.
Is Hoarder going to get caught out? Smithy went right through, but is frozen up. The battle of the Archmages right now, and Hoarder is just bucking it out of there, but runs into Grimju and Relocate, who start to take him down, and he is out.
Yeah, really awesome CC chain there. He was not even able to stand on his feet from 100 to 0. They've got a nice point spread, but Fight Club are obviously in the lead here, and Smithy looks angry after those first 2 losses.
Absolutely. You know, Relocate went in to go help and now finally takes that down. That should have probably happened earlier, but just managed to hang on. Smithy and Grim playing a great combination battle here. Grim now chasing after Hoarder, still sticking around with Smithy to provide that cover fire.
Yeah, the Logos is up, but both teams are still roughly within touching distance of each other. It's 43 to 52. Lagos is taking a little bit of damage. They're 3 points, but that is a massive statue on the side of Smithy, who has just painted the biggest target possible on his head. Mugwe is all up in his face.
Oh my goodness! And survives it. Well, had survived it.
Yeah, he did for a bit, but then he just got clapped down. Smithy was trying to put on the biggest carry performance yet, but then as a team, Ion just hunt him down. Now who's going to get this Lagos? It's super close in the points, and it goes again to the side of Ion. This time, Hoarder is going to be able to pick up that last hit.
And you see that there is chasing after Grim rather than relocate, trying to get as much damage as possible onto the second point bearer there. This is just, yeah, this is great intellect in terms of knowing your surroundings, knowing what's happening. Going after more orbs now. This is a huge swing. They have to get Hoarder down.
And it's 3 against Smithy, and Smithy falls. Grim is the only one really standing with a chance. Hoarder is low. He is hoarding these points, but he is also staying way away from the action. Dremesis trying to just open space here.
The salvation.
Hoarder is indeed the jack of all trades, shot caller, hype man of the team, just leading this now.
Yeah, what is Hoarder going to do next? He is just outplaying everyone here. Relocate gets a lot of points there, but goes down anyway, and it is 3-0 to Ion, match point in their favor.
Yeah, and the matches don't really look that close either. This isn't like, oh, it's Fight Club nearly taking over, or they have some leads and they throw it away. It's like, no, Ion is winning from beginning to end on all 3 maps, both of the maps that we have here, in many different ways as a team. You know, it's not just one guy who's carrying. I feel for Smithy, he was trying really hard. He got so many points on that map, but then he just couldn't carry it by himself in that moment. And then they lose the Lagos for the 3rd time in a row. You
know, there were some times where I saw both Grim and Relocate support Smithy. So Smithy's getting all these kills. They're working as a team. But as soon as someone gets picked off, the panic sets in. Ion doesn't show any panic. All right, we're down a couple objectives. All right, we're down a couple points. We're going to be able to get through this. And they just keep pushing forward. No need to regroup either.
Yeah, in terms of the matchups, Hoarder is playing phenomenally on the Archmage, playing way better than Smithy in those first 3 maps. Then you've got Relocate and Mugwe. Mugwe is just on fire with this Grandmaster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Dremesis against Grim. Dremesis is just proving to be more effective than Grim. Grim is good. He's getting points. He's knocking down these objectives. But this match, with this composition, just doesn't seem to be able to get it done.
Yeah, and it's been domination up until this point. Smithy and Fight Club need to get 4 wins in a row to get the reverse sweep going. We'll see if they can do it. We're going to hop on to map 4 right now. So here we go. Keeper of the Relics coming on in here. And we'll see if this will be the end, or do Fight Club have an answer?
I apologize, viewers. I look shocked because I assumed a timeout was going to be taken here. But right now, they're focusing on the same game plan. Take down the Ballistas as much as they can, leave before the end, and then engage in the PvP elements here.
Yeah, and Dremesis this time is kind of caught out, and he is out. The Raven is down. Repeat, the Raven is down, but now it's back up. And, both teams just kind of feeling each other out again.
Yeah, Relocate did get that down there, but, this is still too early to tell.
Yeah, and Relocate has been leaking points the whole time through the first 3 maps. So I don't think Aeon are particularly concerned that Relocate is the point carrier at this point. I'm sure they would be a lot more scared if Smithy was. And proving my point, Relocate goes down.
Absolutely, Relocate does take that down now. Mugwe, Drem, all moving in a horde together. And this is kind of what I was worried about, where, Smithy may get kind of over aggressive and just kind of goes off on his own, because you need Grim, and you see that there. Smithy over engaged, over committed, and has taken a lot of damage there. Relocate taking a hit there and just goes down. Smithy on the last heals, Grim alone.
Yeah, and the rest of the members, take a look at the points on the side of Ion. It's 15, 16, 17. You take one of those out, it's like, okay, we lose the fewest amount of possible points regardless of who gets taken out here. A bit more spread out on the side of Fight Club. Smithy did go down, so he lost his point lead for his team. And once again here, Ion are going to be in the lead. They have more orbs, more kills, and we'll see if they can last hit this Lagos again.
Well, it looks like they are going to be able to. They haven't got the setup that they quite like going into the Logos fight, but the freeze there is definitely going to pave the way for them to start being the aggressive team. They get it down to 7. They're going down to 6. Is Grim going to be the one to pop it here? He is getting a lot of damage. Smithy is up in there, and Smithy is the one to get it, and Fight Club get the advantage. But we've seen this before. It doesn't matter. Smithy is the big point carrier. This team is very, very top heavy.
Right now, the ballistas are going to come into full effect, but Grim and Relocate really do need to start supporting Smithy on this because Smithy has a huge target on his head, whereas on the side of Ion, you can't really paint a picture on who you want to go after first. Drem does almost take that. Yep, Drem does take that down. Mugwe taking huge hits here.
Yeah, so many lightnings coming through, and now a salvation on the side of Fight Club. Now it's their turn to get the orbs that they need. The orbs that Ion have been able to take out in the past. As, yes, Smithy has a lot of points, but he's up near full health this time around, and maybe he can finally carry his team in this one.
They're circling around, trying to make sure that they can get to the ballista right now. And the ballista does go down. Drem has taken the ballista, the man with the most HP. Mugwe gets that as well. And now both ballistas are down. 5 point, oh, no, not anymore. 29-point difference. Goes down again.
Oh, okay. Well, one kill could do it, but Fight Club for 10 seconds might be able to hold on. You can see they're trying to chase after Smithy here. They need any kill possible to secure the finals, but they're not gonna get it. Fight Club will fight until the end, and they will pick up a first win in this finals.
And again, you saw the 2-point leaders there, obviously because of the ballista. So the points were more even out this time around. You know, Grim and Relocate definitely supported Smithy on that end. Definitely got some kills on there, got some of the objectives going their way, and that Lagos steal was just what they needed.
Yeah, they were all up in that Lagos. Smithy, though, was way, way ahead. There was at one point where the team was so top heavy, it looked as though a collapse was imminent.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that's kind of been a bit of the story here in the finals, at least. It wasn't as apparent in the semifinals, I think, but this time around, Smithy is trying his hardest to desperately carry this team. And guess what? Ion lose one map, and they call a timeout. They are not messing around. They do not want Fight Club to get any momentum behind them because, you know, you lose one map, it's okay, whatever. You lose a second one, it's like, uh-oh, what's going on? Are we going to get reverse sweeps? So they want to get ahead of that mental breakdown and slow it down right from here.
See, on the side of Fight Club, I think this is detrimental because they do kind of rely on the momentum of things. Whereas with Ion, you can tell that they're playing a very strong mental game, knowing the mechanics, knowing a fully clear and you know, a relatively well thought out plan. So this is just going to give them more time to kind of figure things out for the next Temple Raider map.
Yeah, they have a control plan, but the thing is, that map, they weren't able to institute it, right? They weren't able to get Smithy, Grim, and Relocate down low all at the same time. Like, they were either accidentally popping them or, like, you know, Salvation would come out and they'd all be back up at full. So they weren't able to control the hit points available on the side of Fight Club. So taking this time out, talking about it, finding ways that they can better control the objectives and still lay that hurt might be what they're looking into. And there might be a switch here, but I would really doubt both teams would make that class switch at this time.
Yeah, I don't think a switch would be necessary from either team at this point. But I do think with Fight Club, you know, props to them for staving off elimination here, and as well as with Smithy just playing out of his mind, going for it. But you know, you can't say anything negative about Grim and Relocate the way that they were playing, because they caught members of Ion overcommitting and made them feel the punishment for it.
Yeah, it's clear that whatever team is going to play more as a team, I think is going to succeed here. Smithy can do a good job of like last-hitting objectives, holding on to points and not dying, but as you mentioned, it really requires all three players to try to support that, and that's what Ion has been doing. You know, even if Dremesis picks up the points or Mugwe gets the last hit, you know, everybody's supporting, everybody's a unit. So it's been good to see that Fight Club have been adapting and are playing some smarter BDM.
Yeah, Ion recognize, I think, the weaker links on the side of Fight Club. And that one they tried to exploit a lot more than they have done in the past. They were looking at Relocate, they were looking at Grim, trying to take him down. Relocate takes an early fight. Cool, let him have the points. We know we can kill him. And it didn't play out in the long run. In the short term, great plan. give their weakest player all the points, kill him. Doesn't work over the long term because someone like Smithy will come out, get a massive hit, end up with 60, 70 points, and just snowball from there.
Absolutely. Just getting the right salvations at that time, as well as, seeing the Lagos, the Ballista play was great. I'm pretty excited to see what happens on the Temple Raiders. I don't know which way it's going to go. I feel like Fight Club has to keep up the tempo that they've instituted in the last match.
Yeah, I mean, it's close in the sense that whoever gets the Lagos wins, so these teams are very good at holding on to their leads. Nobody's really making any big mistakes by, okay, we got all these big points, but then we're throwing them away or we're getting caught or anything like this. So I think maybe a little bit more focus from the side of Fight Club, just making sure that they can secure that objective, trying to get some, planning 30, even a minute, 30 seconds ahead, 60 seconds ahead so that they can prep some of the enemy health bars, kind of like Ion were doing for the first couple of maps. I think that would really help out as well.
Yeah, you talk about focus. Both these teams need to be so dialed in right now, and the timeout might be super smart by Ion because when you're in that reverse sweep territory, you are pumping with adrenaline. You're doing things that you wouldn't normally do. You're fighting the hard fight. Stopping that tempo, there is that crash that can happen. You are on an adrenaline high. Map 4, you finally get it. You're about to start steamrolling. We'll just put those brakes on right now. And the focus needs to remain there for Fight Club to take this. Ion are just focus machines. They just seem to be this cohesive unit. I feel like Fight Club, as you said much earlier in this, they need that momentum.
Yeah, I just think that this timeout is more like, let's regroup and also just kind of telling Fight Club, sirs, calm down. I feel like this is a calm down timeout as opposed to we need to reevaluate what we're doing here. It's just more like, settle down.
Smithy, take a breather.
This is our finals to win, they were saying, but who knows from here? We are ready to jump into map number 5, though, so let's hop into that right away. And off we go. We are back here on the Temple Raiders. And let's see if Fight Club can keep the momentum going even though the timeout did happen.
Yep, Smithy definitely trying to make that engage happen. Ramoness is going after Smithy.
Yeah, but Hoarder is up in that fight too. It was a 2 versus 1 as Mugwe was trying to handle the reverse 2 versus 1. But Mugwe goes down. Grim gets the points. Relocate is pretty healthy, but Smithy has been pushed out of this and he goes down. But Ramoness might just pay the price on this. He needs to survive. He's getting heals up. But is it going to be enough to bring him back into the fight as we see Grim with the lightning here chasing down Ion?
Grim is definitely chasing down, but Relocate is taking a lot of hits here. Drem goes down. Hoarder takes a bunch of damage here. And this is a very different Temporaries that we saw in the previous match, just because both teams are so aggressive right now.
Yeah, this is the most aggressive we have seen Ion and Fight Club all evening long. Smithy is down in points. Relocate, though, sitting at 15 points, but he is getting very, very low. Grim is up at 20. He's about halfway, but the points are much better distributed on the side of Ion. But, I mean, Fight Club have the advantage, and when it comes to orbs, though, Ion are clawing their way back into it and then seemingly sacrificing Ramoness.
Yeah, this is definitely an objective battle right now for Ion, focusing on that, trying to get whatever they can out of it. And you can see Fight Club controlling the center for a little bit and has now moved on to the outside and keeping Mugwe off at bay.
Yeah, pretty close overall in terms of the points and kind of unfortunate point spread for both teams at this point in time. So it can't really even be closer here as it is very, very even. So now with the Lagos spawned up, a very nice salvation here for the side of Ion, but then immediately Hoarder goes down. So even that healing could not save him in that scenario.
And Ramoness goes down too. Smithy is just an absolute wrecking crew right now, and Mugwe is trying to regroup with the rest of his teammates, but is this going to be good for them?
I mean, they're stuck in salvation right now. They're trying to do what they can, but they're kind of jammed in a difficult place. Our Fight Club, Smithy, is back in his normal shoes here. Grimdew trying to do what they can. The Lagos is going to be the main point of contention here. Are Aeon going to be able to steal this from Fight Club. Everyone is so high in hit points. Who's going to get the last hit?
This has to go on the way of Mugwe. Mugwe takes all the points here, but even with Lagos, the point spread is 5. The point difference is 5. They're trying to take a Grim right now with the lightning. What's going to happen as soon as he comes out of the lightning? They have to be able to finish him off now. Grim goes down, and now they're on the hunt for Smithy.
Yeah, this is so much damage being done on the side of Fight Club, so they are trying to extend that point lead as much as possible, and there's only 20 seconds left, so Ion looking to hold on to this lead.
Yeah, Mugwe did the smart thing. He had the lightning caught in his buddies to finish it off. Dremesis is very low. Hoarder is super low.
They both die.
Fight Club takes it, or ahead right now, up by 11 now.
7
Smithy and
seconds.
Relocate going down.
Who's gonna take it? Smithy and Relocate super low, but
Smithy!
Oh, he goes down with 1 second left. That's it. Smithy dies, and Mugwe takes him down. Just eliminated with barely any points on the clock, and that's gonna do it. Ion takes the finals. So
Oh
there we
my
have
goodness.
it, boys.
All right, as we said before, the last 10 seconds, let's break this down. Smithy came up ahead, got a lot of points, made sure that Fight Club was up ahead. You know, again, Grim and Relocate also getting the right amount of damage done so that Smithy can pick up the points. But Mugwe just hunting and just zeroed in on Smithy, got the kill in the final second.
Oh, man.
And puts him up ahead. And yeah, that goes in the favor of Ion.
That could not have been closer. Mugwe absolutely playing out of his mind games 1, 2, 3, and 5. Like, the guy was insane on that Grandmaster.
Well, the way that Ion describes Mugwe is grabs people, drags them through the ground, forgets to communicate, Orb Destroyer, Lago Stealer, which
Is exactly what he did.
what happened there.
Exactly
It
what
does
he did.
exactly what it says on the tin.
You know, fair play to Fight Club. The way that they performed on that one was incredible. Mugwe just turned on that clutch gene and squeaked out the victory for his team.
Yeah, I don't know how he was able to pull out that performance tonight, but he last hit the Lagos in game 1.
Yep.
In game 2, I think Hoarder got it in game 3.
Yep.
And then Mugwe got it in game 5. So this guy was so clutch on the last hits, on the objectives, and then also on assassinating the enemy ace in the last second. It was 1 second on the clock. And he is able to get the last kill as well. I mean, the guy is the most obvious MVP that I've ever seen.
I mean, an argument could be made for Dremesis, an argument could be made for Smithy as well, because Smithy played so well. But my goodness, Mugwe was just phenomenal. When he got the lightning on that last Lagos, he called in Dremesis. He was like, Dremesis, buddy, like, I need your help.
But even as you can see on the point total here, Mugwe came in third, but Dremesis takes the point total. Mugwe came in clutch at the end, and again, it's that team play. You look at Ion, who did take the victory here and got first, third, and fourth in points.
What happens here is that Dremesis got the ballistas, but Mugwe got all the Lagoses, and I mean, that's really, even on all these maps, that's really what makes a big difference in terms of the point swings, not to mention the assassination kill on the last map as well.
I mean, if he'd have been half a second delayed, if he'd have tripped up, maybe stepped on his shoelace a little bit as he was moving towards Smithy, we'd have seen a different result and we'd have been going on to game 6.
You know, in previous matchups, as well as in different regions, we have seen that final hit whiff. You know, we've seen Grandmasters whiff on that final punch. Mugwe got it. Just square on, got the kill, squeaked out the victory. And closes up the series.
Yeah, so just like that, the 4-1 to Ion. This is not the team that I was expecting to win, but man, did these guys impress tonight. I mean, there was no better team in terms of play, in terms of intelligence in the game, the strategies that they brought in here, the mechanics, the ability to, you know, identify what was most important and get the job done in every situation. They dropped 2 maps against 2 really strong teams. But other than that, it was dominance all the way.
Yeah, the underdog story is complete. Aeon are your champions. Dremesis, Hoarder, and Mugwe. Huge congratulations. I mean, they played together as a unit. They came in with a completely different way. And I mean, nobody can argue with that. I tried before, but Mugwe easily MVP. He was just everywhere. You don't need the most points to be the most impactful player.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been, Valda said it earlier, just right at the start of the tournament, that the finals are going to be a show to watch, the fireworks, and just the way that it ended, a perfect story. Mugwe takes the MVP, a well-deserved. I'm pretty happy with this.
I had Mugwe as my MVP after game 2. Just in case someone was like, oh, you're only doing it because you got the last hit.
So our dominator of the entire tournament was a Void Knight, Jux PS from America. You guys will remember his play from yesterday. Obviously a really strong player, as he was able to pick up the most points overall and pick up the extra 2,000 pearls. So congrats to him for picking up that Dominator Award.
I completely forgot Void Knight existed.
We
hasn't been in today.
Only America plays it, apparently.
Yeah, we did not see many Void Knights. Yeah, Jux, well deserved. Great showing from everybody here. If you get a chance to watch the America tournament, go have a watch. Watch one of the top Void Knights do what he does best, which is kill people.
Yeah, he was insane during those tournaments. He was getting steals. I mean, the guy, the Dominator, does go to the one with the most points in total. So, I mean, obviously, you know, the Ballista come into effect there, but Jux TPS was just a level above everyone else in that America region.
Absolutely. And, you know, just to take it back to the European tournament here, you know, fair play to Fight Club, fair play to Ion for giving us a finals to remember for this.
Yeah, some really awesome BDM there at the end.
Yeah.
I feel like the Europe tournament it provided the most unexpected results and also some of the closest matches, right? We had like 2-point difference, 3-point difference, but I think that last map as well. That might have been just the closest one overall.
A 0.5 second win.
Yeah.
We've also had with the European region the biggest difference between teams, like the largest point gap.
That has happened.
We've seen the clown car, which is where, you know, the Ballista goes down within the first few seconds of the map, and then everyone's kind of scrambling to get themselves back together. I mean, we've seen some great matches, though.
We have. That was a great showing by everybody. I hope that was as thoroughly entertaining for you guys as it was for us, just casting this.
I'm sure. Sure it was. And something you guys have also been waiting for, we do have the coupon code ready to go, as it is BRC Europe Finals 1. There it is. Copy it in, put it into your games, get some pearls, some gifts, and feel very happy. So that was one of our events. As we mentioned, it was going to come out here at the end. So very cool stuff. Anything else you guys want to add before we close out tonight?
I mean, just thanks for having us, I guess. Like, it has been a wonderful tournament to cast. Europe has been absolutely fire. Asia, huge shout out to those guys earlier. They were great. In Europe yesterday, phenomenal games all over.
America yesterday.
America yesterday, days are relative. Days are relative.
Yeah, all the tournaments were so much fun to watch and cast. Huge shout out to all the players that made it here. The final series doesn't really tell the full story about all the players' abilities because they made it to the semis and they've earned their place here.
Yeah, so just awesome performance from everybody. Thank you so much for joining me guys on the cast, and thank all of you out there for watching us here tonight. But that's going to do it for us at the BDM Ramoness Championship. Until next time, but for now, have a good night.